Welcome back to Project Seawolf. Back to our regular scheduled content. I hope you enjoyed the state of the project and the little bit of boat work that we got done last time. Man, these are awesome. I mean, woo! Nice and strong magnets. So that's, yeah, I mean, there's going to be some refinement that I could do with these, but that's pretty low on the priority list now. Today, I'm hoping to get started on the chain plate pads, because all these chain plate pads need to be done by spring, because I want to install the new chain plates so that we can put the mast back on when we want to. But I also want to refine the adapters for the hatches up in the v-berth that we worked on a couple episodes ago. It would be nice to have those in and for those surfaces to be done. And then while we have the epoxy out, we can fill in some of the other holes that are around the boat that need doing. Alright, this is pretty good, but I want the transition here to be a lot nicer, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is going along here with thickened epoxy and making this a nice smooth transition to this. And then coming back tomorrow and then using 5200 to seal down this hatch. Similarly, this hatch could use it as well, some fairing. It's hard to do this with one hand, but you can see here there's some pretty good sized gaps there, which, I mean, I kind of saw coming, but that means I need to raise this the adapter up a little bit before I put this on here. So maybe I'll just build up this with some thickened epoxy, especially in these corners, and make it a little more flat against this internal bevel, and then that should be pretty good, I think. Alright, it's only been a few minutes and it looks like the epoxy is setting up. The tape adhesive like melted off of that interior bit, but the epoxy is sitting still, so that's kind of amazing. Like, you don't see any drips down there. You'd be able to see it, they're white. This one filled up real nice. That's gonna be a nice smooth transition. I'm realizing before I paint this area white, I'm probably going to want to put some sort of fairing compound to cover up the texture of the fiberglass matting, the original fiberglass matting, and create a nice transition from these chop strand strips that I put on the edges. So yeah, to make it super nice. Or I could just not do that. But I have a feeling that once I sand a lot of this to get it ready for painting, there's going to be some maybe holes or gaps that are going to open up. Yeah, some places along here, maybe there's gonna be some areas that I'm gonna want just a little bit of filler. So that fairing compound, whatever I use, is probably gonna help with that. One big problem that I've been having on this boat is that in these wet locker areas between, so it's kind of like a double bulkhead. This hole didn't used to be there. It used to just be a wall like this side. Same thing on this side. These really narrow storage areas, I can't fit inside my shoulder. It pretty much goes up to my shoulder, and there's through holes down at the bottom, transducers, one on each side. And I don't like that I can't access that or clean it or work on anything down in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in through the bilge to a little kind of spacer wall there and install a hatch in the spacer wall so that I can access the bottom of these narrow storage areas, because otherwise I won't be able to clean them or repair them or take out those through holes. So yeah, unfortunately there's 2 more through holes we have to do. All right, we're in the bilge now. Yeah. All right, so here's one of the hatches. It's gonna go about there, I think. Probably be good. It's really, it's gonna be a tight fit, I think. But the interior diameter, like the actual hole that I have to cut, is a lot smaller than the exterior, so that's a good thing. Should fit between the fiberglass tabbing. Okay, we have the holes cut for the portholes, and the holes aren't too tight, so the hatches can actually come off. We're gonna come back to these areas in a future episode to remove the through holes that are in there holding the double not working transducers, and clean the hull inside now that we can access it. Thank goodness. That's something that I've been putting off for a long time. All right. Being inside the boat today, for some reason, is giving me a huge headache and like making me feel kind of gross. I think it's probably the epoxy or a lot of the acetone or something. Yeah, it's yeah. So I'm gonna come back in the morning on this same episode, and we're gonna install the hatches. All right, it's a new day. We're gonna get a lot done, and starting with installing these hatches. While the boat's heating up, I'm gonna apply this 5200 to seal up under the hatches. I'm not afraid to use it. I know it's pretty much permanent, but I also think it's a great sealant. So I'm gonna do that with that, and also the 2 circular hatches under there that we installed last night. With the 5200, it can be applied over 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So right now it's 50 in here. So a long time ago, when I first started this project and I had a job and everything, I bought a bunch of tools, one of which is this automatic caulking gun, so I don't have to pump my hand, which I thought was going to be nice because the 5200 can be pretty hard, and on my old boat, pumping that thing all day was exhausting. So I thought this would be a nice tool. Also, after doing trim carpentry, to be able to go back and caulk all the baseboard, I thought this would be nice too if I ever had to do that again. So I know that the adapter will touch this center line all the way along. So I'm gonna put the caulk there, and that gives it room to squish around as well. Because I don't want to put it in here because it might not touch the adapter enough. And if I want to go back and screw, I can just screw right through. But I probably won't. The 5200 is going to be plenty strong enough. Yeah, and that will create a waterproof seal. Awesome. Most of my cruising clothes have some white on them from 5200. I'm going to try to keep it off these clothes, but no promises. Oh. Alright, it's a little bit messier than I thought it was going to be. This is my first time using a electric caulk gun, so I guess it's alright. It's like a squeezy cheese container. It's just going wherever it wants to go. Oh my goodness. There we go, that's nice. That's nice. Much nicer. Alright, it helps if it's actually touching the surface, because then the caulk doesn't like try to lift up and well, that time it did, but usually just a little bit more. Alright, so I guess the caulking gun was kind of fun. Definitely not an essential item, but just kind of fun to have. And it really wasn't that expensive, so at the time, I think it was part of a bunch of other stuff that I bought. Alright, make sure it's on the correct way around. Whew, okay. Alright, definitely don't want that on the seal. I don't want too much of it squirting off the sides because it's going to make it a nightmare to paint. I gotta make sure the hatch closes and it's not bent out of shape. Ah, very good. Wow, sweet, it worked. I shouldn't open it because it's just gonna pull it up. Nope, it didn't. Very good. Perfect. It's a hatch in place. Wow. All right, next one. All right, this one fit, but I'm gonna approach it a little bit different because there's a little bit more of a gap in the corners. So I'm gonna lay it on thick when I'm applying the sealant, especially in the corners, because that gapalicious lip needs to be filled up. Very good. Operates excellent. All right. I think generally I'm gonna do more 5200 on this one because there's so much more gappage. Also, I'd hate to be done with this project and have to waste the rest of this 5200 in this can. It doesn't really keep well. But I've had it in my hair, I've had it on my face. It's just a messy sealant. Very hard to get rid of as well. I recommend cleaning up your hands with hand sanitizer, because that works for 5200 cleanup. Should have enough for the other hatches that I want to do. I might have to go into the corners and inject some in here, and then clean up as best I can around the edges. It's all getting painted white anyway. So I've noticed when it's done, it pulls the plunger back for you, which is awesome. Makes it so much cleaner of an end. Nice and clean. Now for these ones, I probably do want to put the screws in because the torque pressure 5200 doesn't do so well with. So I'm just putting this in so that the port doesn't deform. Probably want to use screws or bolts in these holes because when you go and unscrew this, it can break the seal pretty easy. All right, so we got these two hatches. Yay. I made this wall. I made this wall. I made this wall. That wall. I made this wall. It's really starting to come together in here. I still need to clean up this motor mount and design a new one. Probably copying this one, but doing it out of stainless. I think that was a pretty good motor mount. Remember, it has to take the torque of the engine, so it has to be really secure on the side so it doesn't break out Yeah, and I think this H kind of shape where it has crossbar, and then the platform. I think that's a pretty good idea. So probably gonna remake that just out of better material than what they had. I'm not sure how much is left in this gun, but it should be able to. Maybe I'll use the rest of it and do this one preemptively. This is going up in the v-berth, so let's see. Yeah, it still leaves enough room for tabbing on the side, so I think I'll do that. That sounds good. I might have to do another hatch with this tube. Amazing. And again, I'll probably want to use bolts or screws through this because I don't want the torque to break this this 5200. Ah! Maybe I do have a use for the rest of the 5200. Alright, that's the last bit of the can. Sweet. I hope it's not soaking into my sock. Sweet, so this boot's taken care of, but yeah, next time I have 5200 out, I'll do the other boot. I was about to start working on the chain plates areas, but ended up having to reseal. I'm using saran wrap plastic, clear plastic over these portholes to keep water from dripping in, which has been happening. There's also some water that got into the chain plate area over there that I was about to work on, and that's not good. I'm not gonna work on the fiberglass if it has any water on it. So I've taken care of all that, and it shouldn't drip on it anymore. But we're gonna have to wait till next time to work on the chain plate pads because there's no way I'm gonna compromise that particular structure, especially on the main chain plate. Thanks for watching. Thank you to everybody who's supporting me on YouTube and on the Patreon. You guys have been helping me make this channel and the work that I do here possible. And there's so much more work to do, and if you watched the last video, you know on the timeline that I want to be done with most of the interior projects, especially the chain plate pads, by spring and summer. So that's what we're going to be focusing on for the next couple months, is getting these chain plate pads ready and the rest of the interior. Most of the big interior jobs are done. There's still a lot going on in the bilge there that I'm going to have to work on, but some of that's going to have to wait till spring when I can totally clean out the boat again. And there's some stretches without rain, hopefully. But yeah, stay tuned. I know it's a slow burn. This channel in general is until we launch, and I thank you for sticking with it, and thank you for sticking with me. Trust me, I want to get this boat back in the water and cruising again as soon as I can. Catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye. Look at all that. Nice light. Beautiful.